The Amish are known for their ability to grow abundant, high-quality fruit without relying on pesticides or synthetic chemicals. Their methods, rooted in natural practices and deep respect for the environment, provide simple, effective solutions that anyone can adopt. In this script, we'll explore the most impactful Amish techniques for increasing fruit yields by up to 60% while keeping pests at bay. Number 1. Companion planting. Companion planting is a strategic gardening practice where specific plants are grown together to enhance each other's growth, deter pests, and improve overall garden health. This method leverages the natural properties of plants to create a harmonious ecosystem. For instance, planting basil alongside tomatoes not only enhances the flavor of the tomatoes, but also repels insects like aphids and whiteflies. Similarly, marigolds release chemicals from their roots that deter nematodes, protecting neighboring plants from these harmful pests. Another example is the combination of carrots and onions. Onions emit a scent that deters carrot flies, while carrots help repel onion flies, creating a mutually beneficial relationship. Beyond pest control, companion planting can improve soil fertility. Leguminous plants such as beans and peas fix nitrogen in the soil, benefiting nitrogen-demanding plants like corn when planted nearby. Additionally, tall plants can provide shade for sun-sensitive species, and deep-rooted plants can bring up nutrients from deeper soil layers, making them accessible to shallow-rooted companions. Implementing companion planting requires careful planning and understanding of plant relationships. By thoughtfully selecting plant pairings, gardeners can create more productive and resilient garden ecosystem. Number 2, homemade natural sprays. Homemade natural sprays are a versatile, eco-friendly solution for protecting plants without the use of synthetic chemicals. A popular option is garlic spray, which effectively repels a variety of pests. To create this, crush or blend 2 garlic bulbs with 1 cup of water. Let it sit overnight, strain, and dilute with a gallon of water. Adding a teaspoon of mild liquid soap increases adhesion, making it effective against aphids, caterpillars, and beetles. Another effective recipe is a baking soda fungicide, perfect for combating powdery mildew. Mix 1 teaspoon of baking soda with a tablespoon of vegetable oil and dilute with a gallon of water. This solution alters the pH on leaf surfaces, creating an environment unsuitable for fungal growth. Neem oil spray, made by mixing 1 tablespoon of neem oil with a gallon of water and a few drops of dish soap, targets common pests like spider mites and whiteflies. It disrupts pest reproductive cycles while being safe for beneficial insects when applied in the evening. Essential oil sprays, combining citronella, eucalyptus, and lavender oils diluted in water, act as broad-spectrum repellents for flying insects and ants. Regular application around garden perimeters can deter pests naturally. Number 3. Trap crops. Trap crops are strategically planted to attract pests away from main crops, serving as a decoy to protect valuable plants. This method leverages pests' natural preferences, drawing them to more appealing plants and reducing damage to primary crops. For instance, planting blue Hubbard squash near cucumbers can lure squash vine borers and cucumber beetles away from cucumbers. Similarly, nasturtiums can attract aphids, keeping them off nearby vegetables. The effectiveness of trap cropping depends on factors like the attractiveness of the trap crop, its placement relative to the main crop, and the timing of planting. Integrating trap crops into a garden or farm can decrease reliance on chemical pesticides, promote biodiversity, and support sustainable pest management practices. Number 4. Beneficial insects. Beneficial insects play a pivotal role in sustainable agriculture by naturally regulating pest populations, thereby reducing the need for chemical interventions. Lady beetles, commonly known as ladybugs, are voracious predators of aphids, consuming thousands in their lifetime. Their larvae, often mistaken for pests due to their alligator-like appearance, are equally effective in pest control. Ground beetles patrol the soil surface, preying on a variety of pests, including caterpillars and slugs, thus protecting crops from below. Parasitic wasps, though minute and often unnoticed, lay their eggs inside or on pest insects. Their developing larvae consume the host, effectively curbing pest populations. For instance, trichogramma wasps target the eggs of over 200 pest species, preventing them from reaching the destructive larval stage. The spine soldier bug, a type of stink bug, is another formidable predator, feeding on over 90 insect species, including the notorious Colorado potato beetle and the Mexican bean beetle. Encouraging these natural allies involves creating habitats that support their life cycles. Planting a diverse array of flowering plants ensures a continuous supply of nectar and pollen, essential for adult insects. Implementing beetle banks, raised strips of land planted with perennial grasses, provides shelter and overwintering sites for ground beetles and other beneficials. Avoiding broad-spectrum pesticides is crucial, as these can indiscriminately kill beneficial insects alongside pests. Instead, adopting integrated pest management practices that monitor pest levels and apply targeted controls only when necessary helps maintain ecological balance. By fostering an environment conducive to beneficial insects, farmers and gardeners can harness nature's own pest control mechanisms, leading to healthier crops and reduced reliance on chemical pesticides. Number 5, crop rotation. Crop rotation is a strategic agricultural practice involving the sequential cultivation of different crops on the same land to optimize soil health and crop productivity. This method disrupts pest and disease cycles, as many pathogens and insects are host-specific. Alternating crops deprives them of their preferred hosts, reducing infestations. For instance, rotating cereals with legumes can naturally suppress certain soil-borne diseases. Nutrient management is another critical aspect. Different crops have varying nutrient requirements and contribute distinct residues to the soil. Leguminous plants, such as beans and peas, fix atmospheric nitrogen, enriching the soil for subsequent crops. This natural fertilization reduces the need for synthetic inputs, promoting sustainable farming. Soil structure and fertility benefit significantly from crop rotation. Diverse root systems enhance soil porosity and organic matter content, improving water infiltration and retention. This leads to better drought resilience and reduces erosion risks. Additionally, rotating deep-rooted crops with shallow-rooted ones can help in nutrient cycling from different soil depths. Weed management is also enhanced through crop rotation. Changing crops alters the growing environment, making it less favorable for specific weed species adapted to particular conditions. This reduces weed pressure and can decrease reliance on herbicides. Implementing crop rotation requires careful planning. Farmers must consider crop compatibility, market demands, and environmental factors. Incorporating cover crops during fallow periods can further improve soil health and provide additional benefits like erosion control and organic matter addition. Number 6, mulching. Mulching involves covering the soil surface with materials like straw, wood chips, or compost to enhance plant health and soil quality. This practice offers numerous benefits, including moisture retention, temperature regulation, weed suppression, and erosion prevention. Organic mulches, such as shredded leaves, grass clippings, and compost, decompose over time, enriching the soil with nutrients and improving its structure. Inorganic options like gravel or plastic sheeting are durable and effective at weed control, but don't contribute to soil fertility. The timing of mulch application is crucial. Applying mulch in late spring helps conserve soil moisture and regulate temperature during the growing season. In colder climates, mulching in late fall insulates plant roots against winter temperatures. Proper mulching techniques are essential. A layer of 2 to 4 inches is generally recommended. Thicker layers can impede water and air movement to plant roots. It's important to keep mulch a few inches away from plant stems to prevent rot and discourage pests. Mulching also plays a role in sustainable agriculture by reducing the need for chemical herbicides and fertilizers. By maintaining soil health and reducing erosion, mulching supports long-term agricultural productivity. Number 7. Timing and seasonality. Timing and seasonality are essential for optimizing crop growth, managing pests, and ensuring consistent yields. Aligning planting schedules with natural cycles minimizes risks from extreme weather and pest activity while enhancing productivity. Choosing the right time to plant begins with understanding the local climate and frost dates. Cool season crops such as lettuce, spinach, and radishes thrive in early spring or late summer, avoiding high heat. Warm season crops like peppers and melons require soil temperatures of at least 18 degrees Celsius for germination, making late spring ideal. Seasonal pest activity is another critical consideration. Many pests, such as aphids and caterpillars, emerge during warm weather, so planting later in the season or using early maturing crop varieties can reduce exposure. Rotating planting times annually disrupts pest cycles and minimizes the risk of recurring infestations. Monitoring soil conditions also plays a role in seasonality. For example, heavy spring rains may saturate the soil, delaying planting for certain crops. Using raised beds or improving drainage can mitigate this issue. Incorporating cover crops during the off-season maintains soil health by preventing erosion, suppressing weeds, and replenishing nutrients. Climate change has made timing more unpredictable, with warmer winters and irregular rainfall patterns affecting traditional planting schedules. Adjusting practices, such as shifting planting dates or selecting heat or drought-tolerant varieties, can address these challenges. Leveraging tools like degree day calculators helps farmers predict optimal planting and pest control windows. By aligning crops with seasonal patterns, growers can enhance efficiency and create a resilient agricultural system. Number 8. Composting for fertile soil. Composting is a natural process that transforms organic waste into nutrient-rich humus, enhancing soil fertility and structure. By recycling kitchen scraps, yard waste, and other organic materials, composting reduces landfill waste and provides a sustainable alternative to chemical fertilizers. The composting process involves the decomposition of organic matter by microorganisms, resulting in a dark, crumbly substance known as compost. This material is rich in essential nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, which are vital for plant growth. Additionally, compost improves soil structure, increases moisture retention, and promotes beneficial microbial activity, all of which contribute to healthier plants and higher crop yields. To create effective compost, it's important to balance green materials, which are rich in nitrogen, such as fruit and vegetable scraps, coffee grounds, and fresh grass clippings, with brown materials, which are high in carbon, like dry leaves, straw, and cardboard. An ideal ratio is approximately 3 parts brown materials to 1 part green materials. Maintaining this balance ensures efficient decomposition and prevents issues like unpleasant odors. Aeration is crucial in the composting process. Regularly turning the compost pile introduces oxygen, which supports the aerobic bacteria responsible for breaking down organic matter. Proper moisture levels are also essential. The compost should be as damp as a wrung-out sponge. If it's too dry, decomposition slows down. If too wet, it can become anaerobic and produce foul smells. Composting can be done in various ways, depending on available space and resources. Backyard composting is common, using bins or open piles. For those with limited space, vermicomposting, using worms to decompose organic matter, is an effective alternative. Another method is bokashi composting, which involves fermenting food waste using specific microorganisms, allowing for the composting of items like meat and dairy that are typically avoided in traditional composting. Incorporating compost into garden soil enhances its fertility and structure. It increases the soil's organic matter content, improving its ability to retain water and nutrients. This leads to healthier plant growth and can reduce the need for chemical fertilizers, promoting a more sustainable gardening practice. Number 9. Creating natural barriers. Creating natural barriers is an effective strategy in sustainable agriculture and gardening to protect crops from pests and environmental stressors. By strategically planting certain species, these barriers can deter pests, reduce wind damage, and enhance biodiversity. Hedgerows, composed of shrubs and trees, serve as windbreaks, reducing soil erosion and providing habitats for beneficial insects and birds that prey on pests. For instance, planting native species like hawthorn or elderberry can attract pollinators and natural predators, fostering a balanced ecosystem. Buffer strips of grasses or wildflowers between crop fields can intercept pests and prevent their spread. Species such as clover or alfalfa not only act as physical barriers, but also improve soil health through nitrogen fixation. Incorporating trap crops, plants more attractive to pests than the main crop, can lure pests away, reducing damage. For example, planting mustard near cabbage can attract flea beetles away from the main crop. Companion planting involves growing certain plants together to repel pests or attract beneficial organisms. Marigolds, when planted alongside tomatoes, can deter nematodes and whiteflies. Living mulches, such as cover crops like rye or vetch, suppress weeds and provide ground cover, reducing soil temperature fluctuations and moisture loss. These mulches can also serve as habitats for beneficial insects. Implementing these natural barriers requires careful planning, considering factors like plant compatibility, local climate, and pest behavior. By integrating these strategies, farmers and gardeners can reduce reliance on chemical pesticides, promote biodiversity, and create resilient agricultural systems. Number 10. Intercropping for biodiversity. Intercropping, the practice of cultivating multiple crop species simultaneously on the same land, significantly enhances biodiversity within agricultural systems. By introducing a variety of plants, intercropping creates a more complex habitat that supports a wider range of organisms, including beneficial insects, soil microbes, and wildlife. This increased biodiversity leads to several ecological benefits. For instance, diverse plant species can attract natural predators of common pests, reducing the need for chemical pesticides. Additionally, different root structures and depths among intercropped plants improve soil structure and health, promoting nutrient cycling and reducing erosion. Implementing intercropping requires careful planning to select compatible plant species that complement each other's growth habits and resource needs. For example, pairing deep-rooted plants with shallow-rooted ones can optimize water and nutrient uptake. Similarly, combining tall crops with shorter, shade-tolerant species can maximize light utilization. Research has shown that intercropping can lead to higher overall productivity compared to monoculture systems. This is due to more efficient use of resources and the synergistic interactions between different plant species. Moreover, the increased biodiversity associated with intercropping enhances ecosystem resilience, making agricultural systems more adaptable to environmental changes and stresses.